Alright. Welcome back to the daily life of a middle-aged online shopper. Anime review, episode number 3. We're reviewing episodes 5 and 6 for the series. We are pretty much almost halfway through the series already. Well, with the amount of episodes released. Now, in these two episodes, first we start with the aftermath of the kidnapping from the previous two episodes, where everybody arrives back at the capital, and, of course, Parama's reunited with her awesome father, and of course, and because of also, afterwards, they make the wooden bicycle, which called the that comes the official last name, thanks to Lore, basically proving that, and also, they give a report, they give all the heads, they inspect all 52 heads, because they basically decided to capture all 50 corpses of Soga and his men, and they get paid very handsomely, and, of course, Kenichi, being the sensible party leader, divides up the gold with the entire party. He gives some gold pieces. By the way, not only did he brought heads, he brought a whole bunch of stuff from Soga's high, including weapons, furniture, all this air stuff. He gives the weapons to a armor shop, well, basically a blacksmith. I'm sure probably gets something to do with that one. He gives the dresses to the captive girls, with the exception of Ayame, who will get back to her. A lot of stuff happens in the course of just a few minutes. He also gets, recognized. I almost kind of forgot, basically, we do see, because the gates are closed, Ken can take her back to his house, so he runs to one more time. I kind of forgot she was here because I read a lot of the manga, pretty much the whole manga series yesterday online. Yeah, there's a website I went to that had all 8 volumes online. I managed to get through it pretty quickly. Got all day. So, I kind of forgot, basically, that she was even here, because she's not in a lot of the series, so I kind of forgot. I knew she was there at the beginning. I remember that, but I kind of forgot she was at this point in the series. So, she's mad at him because and then, of course, basically, she does sneak into his room later on, where she apparently tries to have sex with him. And then Ayame basically follows them in. And then she goes, and of course, Ayase goes back to her own room. And Ayame basically sleeps in Kenichi's bed. Don't worry, she keeps her clothes on. She's a little girl. He's not going to be any little girl at all. And apparently, she decided to stay with Kenichi, despite the fact that she could obviously stay with Inina. Yes, but she wants to Kenichi for some reason. So then pretty much basically everything's all sorted out and y'all paid for everything. And then Ayama, and the Bobcat, that's the creature you saved in the previous episode, which you also give a little dog collar to, little cone thing. And then he packs up his house, his solar generator, everything else except for the plants and fence, and leaves on his motorcycle. Ayame goes to visit him, and he's gone. She's very upset with him. And don't worry, she will be back. Yes, she will be back. Also, he's been sharing Bachelor because, basically he sees her as his own daughter, so basically he just takes baths with her. And share a bed because she's his daughter. So, then he just happens to run into, on the way to the next town he goes to, the merchant from the first episode. I kind of forgot he basically returned here, so they just happy to see each other, and then of course by the way, also in the end, you see the woman ukulele, she pops up one more time, but she's relatively a minor character, so she probably doesn't do anything after this. As far as I can tell, she doesn't. She's not in the opening credits, so she's not there very long. So then, of course, they arrive in an area where they can basically set up their home base. Also, Mayaoi basically followed them all. I want to make sure I get her name right. Mare proceeded to follow them. Yep. She followed them. Yes, according to her, she actually had sniffed out. Also, the knight that they were with, he became a baron. Yep, became a baron, started his own territory. Yep. So, and of course, make a picture book, which of course make a small profit thanks to meeting up with a local official, basically a a guy in the air, the Croton, and his cat person. Now, I don't think basically that they name him. Yeah, so they get along pretty well. They come to town, and of course they meet a maid named Snowflake, which of course, here's the thing. Kenichi tried to be very nice, call her Granny, but she's like, no, don't call me Granny. But then he also gives his physical oil before they went to town, basically. I mean, it was not very happy with him, so he also been teaching her how to read and write. Very sensible thing for him to do. Even teaching him showing her a book in basically his own language. And the first book he shows her is A Little Mermaid. Later on, to make a picture book with Mary, the daughter of the guy who he met before, and they basically do Cinderella. I'm like, that's cool. My niece loves Little Mermaid. She recently got Little Mermaid. So, they also see that people are, well, before he leaves town, before he leaves Dula, the reason why he has to leave is because basically there's some mysterious guy after him. We don't know who this person is. He's wearing a mask. And then later on, basically, it's, well, Maiolo. Basically just escorts him out of town. So, then pretty much basically, like, well, they end up fighting some thugs off. He, of course, puts on a plague mask or intimidate them. Of course, scares them with fireworks. And, of course, also become very good friends. Of course, Mary is introduced to Ayami. Of course, make the Cinderella book. And they basically chat back and forth every day. This might be emerged. I'm like, is he not? He is making a profit on the picture books. Pretty still profit. And then, one day, for some reason, his daughter contracts coronary fever. And he gives basically Kenichi a bunch of money, but don't worry, he'll basically find a treatment for it. And also, he gives sort of a thing to keep her fever down a little bit, so she's not basically going to die. So, then he, Corolla, and the Beastman proceed to go to a forest to find seeds for this cure. And the episode ends with three thugs who Kenichi scared earlier, possibly going to do something at the end of the episode. And that's kind of what happens over the course of 2 episodes. Yep. Pretty good here. Still enjoying it. And, well, we have 7 more to go. Oh, what they forgot to mention, I don't know if anybody's noticed this, I've not mentioned a dub cast this one. Well, there's a reason for that. There is no dub of this one. Nope. None. And also, I forgot to mention this also. This is the 17th series I've checked out this year. As of currently, this is one of the few series that does not have a dub. Now, you're probably thinking, what series have I reviewed this year that currently has no dub? Those are Welcome to Japan myself. That's one. Even given the worthless appraiser class, I'm actually strongest. I'm the Lord of Intergalactic Empire. Yasure Dark L, Chasing the World. And this is the 6th anime this year. The currently has no dub. Pretty much everything else does have a dub. Oh, and don't worry. When I finish this one, the next series will definitely have a dub. And the thing is, this is only the month of May. I'm only 17 series in. So I've watched 17 series here, which I gotta admit, basically that's actually pretty good. Like, what was the final episode count by the end of last year? I know it was over 20. I know that. I think it was also the second highest I've ever had for a series for 1 year last year, which I watched a lot of shows last year. Yes, I did. I got to 27 shows last year. Yep, 27. And quick little thing with that one. Guess how many series last year I watched? No dub. To start with last year, a lot of the series did have a dub. The first series last year did not have a dub was Reborn to Master Blade. That one had a dub. Family Frame didn't have a dub initially, but it did have a dub later on, so I'm taking off the list. As a reincarnated aristocrat, I use my appraisal to rise in the world. That's another one. The stronger magician demon number is a human. The healer who was banished from his party is back the strongest. So 4 anime last year had no dub. None. This year, it's not many. Currently, as of right now, there's no dub for these ones. It's only 3. One Good Trade Myself, I'm Evil Lord of Empire, Even Give the Worthless Cast, I'm actually strongest. And this one. This is actually the 4th one. Yeah, 4th one I watched this year, where currently there is actually 5th one this year, actually, because I forgot Dark Elf. 5th this year, and currently no dub. None. I am planning, once I finish watching this show, I'm planning to watch one more show, but I'm only going to the first season because I don't want to do the second season just yet because the show is going to be about 50 episodes. So I'm just going to hold off second seasons. When I finish that first season, I'm going to head back to Kamen at that point. Yep. That is the plan. Excuse me. I will also get a chance to hopefully, maybe I might get a chance to view maybe a couple more, maybe 1 or 2 more stories for Doctor Who, but who knows, okay? So yeah, that's particularly a particular view. Please be sure to like, comment, subscribe, turn notifications. Next up, we have 2 Comic Corners. And I don't think these 2 take very long, okay? Next view. Bye.